Well, hello, everybody. We are here today doing some match-up college football. And as we can see, I sure hope the camera is right. We obviously, the way the camera has to be set up overhead, we can't really show the cards, which are over here to this side. And the rule book is up here to the top. And I'm going to try to leave the teams on the field as much as possible to show you some things. So problem with doing that is they're usually in sign holders right back here where I can easily see them. So I would usually never have them on the field, but just for the sake of being able to show you some things, they are on the field. We have 2022 Georgia at 2022 Michigan. And we're going to assume it is in Ann Arbor, which is actually about 2 hours north of here. Although not a fan, I'm an Illinois fan. I'm an Illinoisan by birth. Moved to Indiana because, like every guy's story out there, it started with I met this girl. ... So we're in Indiana, but we're about 2 hours south of both Ann Arbor and about an hour and a half to 2 hours south of East Lansing as well. We are about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes south, southeast of South Bend. And we are about 2 hours, 3 hours north of IU. So we're sort of in a bit of a hub. Purdue is hour and 20 minutes or so as well, southwest. So we're kind of in a college football area. What you're going to want to do first, you obviously have teams. Now, let's look at something right here. These are not the two-page teams. I have them printed out on paper. Usually, if you go somewhere like Office Depot or Staples, they can make beautiful teams back and front, or front and back. The PDF file is set up so that you don't need to tell them anything special. They can just print it out front and back, and it'll work because we have an intro sheet on page 1, we write about the teams on page 2, and then we actually begin the teams on 3. So, you know, the teams are on pages 3 and 4, 5 and 6, so on and so forth. You see, these are their power scores right here. This is going to be important for power plays. This is not complex, and I've heard people before say, oh, I don't even want to do that. And it just makes them nervous, and I don't know why, because it's one of the major facets of the game. And it is important. All you do, if you're playing same division teams, same division means these are both FBS. It doesn't mean same conference. It means same division. These are both FBS. If these were both FCS, it's the same division. If these were both Division 2 teams, same division. If these were both Division 3 teams, same division. So because they're both FBS teams, you just take this score and subtract. So you take the 10 minus the 7 right here, and you get 3. Georgia is going to get 3 power plays. Because it's the same division, the Wolverines will still get 1. So even in the same division, the bottom team is always going to get 1. You can often have a tie, which is fine. If they're 1 number apart, yes. If they were 2 and they were 1, that means Georgia would have 1 and they would have 1 because they're the same division. I'm fine with that. 1 number apart isn't really that far apart, so we're all good there. So Georgia's going to have 3. The Wolverines are going to have 1. If we have an opportunity to use 1 in the next, say, 30 minutes or so, I'll explain how and what you do then. But basically, depending on what play it is, you just roll on these 3 things right here. Who gets the choice on the power play to use it first? The team with the higher power score. If they were tied, it would be the home team. But because they are not tied right here, it is the team with the higher power score. So Georgia will get the chance to say, I want to use it or I don't. Obviously, there is an entire strategy in the game of when to use your power plays when they come up. You obviously don't want to blow them all right away at the start of the game, but we're going to use it if it comes up just to explain how to use it. So we're probably going to go about 30 minutes today explaining some basic things, as long as the cats who are in here right now don't jump all over the table, and I don't think they will. I think they'll be okay. So you start off the game, we're going to kick off. And what that means is, let's just say Georgia is going to kick off to the Wolverines. Let's just say that's going to happen. Because we are using the advanced chart, we take the kicker for Georgia right here, and he's a +5. The basic kickoff charts that we began the game with years ago now are right here. They only go up to 20 right here. These go up to 100, so you multiply by 5. So you take their +5, multiply it by 5, and they'll be adding 25 to the roll. The roll being a 47, and 25 is 72. 72 is a touchback. Just for the sake of not having to do all kinds of what era is this and do all that kind of stuff, and it depends on the era, we're going to put the ball at the 25-yard line. So the Wolverines have the ball. So we're going to be concerned with them right now. Wolverines have the ball. I forgot to show you how many plays we're going to have per quarter. Rather than using a clock, I find it's much easier to use plays per quarter and average them. We also have a way to hurry up. We have a way to slow down. So that's not a problem as well. Plays per quarter are right here. You average that. Because they are the same, we have 33 plays per quarter in this game. Okay. So you look at the front of the sheets. This is really a lot easier when these are in sign holders, believe me. And we're going to be going very slow here just to give you an example of how to run maybe a few series. So you will look at two things. You'll get 2D20. One is going to be the finder. Here's the rush finder. These are the receiving finders. This is actually a pass finder right here. I always assume I don't use the pass finder for every pass. Obviously, I'm going to assume the starter is in the game until he's injured, or if he's injured. Or if it's a case where the backup played a lot, then you may want to re-roll at halftime. But I just assume that the starter's in the game. You will also roll on the solitaire play calling sheet right here. It is 1st and 10. 1st and 10. So you're looking at this column right here. Their play calling rating is -2, which means they absolutely ran more than they passed. So whatever roll on the darker die that I get, I'm going to take off 2. And then the lighter die is going to be the finder. 1st and 10. 12 minus 2 is a 10. That's an outside run. A 7 means it is an outside run by Blake Corum. So we just learned it's an outside run by Blake Corum. We draw the outside run card. Outside run is the top play. The goal line run is the bottom play. So you'll see that you have a red option, a blue line, a red line, a blue line, and then red and blue. Let's explain those real fast. The red at the top is what the offense is going to check. The blue at the top is what the defense is going to check. The red right here is the result of the play if the offense wins, and the blue of the play is the result of the play if the defense wins. So it's easily offense, offense, and defense, defense. These right here are the tacklers. If you're counting tackles, if the offense wins, it's the red player that made the tackle. If the defense wins, it's the blue player right here. Now, there may be half tackles as well, so you may have more than one. But right here, it's just red and just blue. The dice are here mainly as a dividing line, to be honest with you. But you can use them if, say, you're trying to be really quiet for some reason. You can just grab a stack of cards and just use the dice on there as well. So this is a goal line run. We're not using that at all. We're using outside run. So the Wolverines are going to test their left tackle 1, which is the starter, and their left guard 1. their blocking skills on the run. Run is on the left, pass is on the right. The left tackle is a 6. The left guard is a 5. That is an 11. So we're going to put 11 on the home team right there. The defense is checking the L4 rush and the LB1 rush. Rush, pass. L4 is right here. He's a 5. LB1 is an 8. That's a 13. That's going to go right there on 13. 11 and 13. This, honestly, when you learn how to play the game, it does not take as long as I'm taking right now. You will instantly be able to see the sheet, see the numbers, roll the dice, and you'll fly through this part of it. Again, I'm going slow for everyone out there who just may not know how to play. Okay, so right now, 33 plays. This is going to move all over everywhere. And actually, we're just not going to use that for right now because we're not going to get through the whole thing anyway. So right now, you can see that on this play, Georgia has a 2-number advantage over the Wolverines. This is going to be away, this is going to be home. Each team then rolls a 1d10. So they had 6. They had 10. So they're actually going to win the play even though they were behind. Wolverines win the play. The runner is hit, but he keeps pushing for a 3-yard gain. And I know you're probably thinking, all that for 3 yards? Well, again, it moves pretty fast once you learn how to play. And these aren't like all in your way. They're just right up here really nicely. So that's how you do that. So I always take these. I put these back at 1. Leave the dice up there. So we're at the 33-yard line, and it is 2nd and 7. 2nd and 7. So we are going to roll the play again. 2nd and 7. Man, I'm going to hit everything with these sheets being on the field. I know a lot of you have been asking, by the way, I wanted to explain this too. I know a lot of you have been asking, where's a video? I can't even learn to play a game without a video. But I will say, I think the rulebook is a good one. And watching this or watching anyone play the game or any game is not really a replacement for reading the rules. I think as you go, as you play the first time with a rulebook in hand and kind of hack away at it, I think that's a really good learning process, actually. I don't know how much retention there is. Obviously, we haven't commissioned any research. So, yeah. I don't know how much is retained from watching, but you're kind of going to get a few ideas of basically how to play. So we have 2nd and 7. It is an 11. Again, -2. That's a 9. That's an inside run. 2nd and 7. 9 is inside run. And 7, that is Blake Corum again, which is really who you want to carry the ball if you are the Wolverines. Inside run right here. It says, if it were a draw play, we would have a power play option. It's not. Inside run is at the top. Oh, we're going to check the rusher's fumble rating. That's a 9. He's pretty good. He does not fumble the ball very much. Against the defensive takeaways. The defensive takeaways is a 5. Okay, so right now it's 5 to 9. What I like about that concept is that you can match up a player against the team scores. Players can be matched up against other player scores, or team scores can be matched up against team scores. I wanted to build a game where you're really testing a lot of things. I want to explain this, I said early on that it should be a complex game. I feel like all games that are full play games should be extremely complex behind the scenes. And that's the important part. What a creator does and goes into it, we should exhaust the analytics that we have. We should exhaust the statistics we have and can find. We should exhaust everything that we can possibly gather. But from your perspective, from the front of the curtain, it should be easy to play. So all of the really hard work should go on behind the scenes, and it does. So let's roll. The dark is going to be away. The light is going to be home. That's a 4. Oh, they're at 9. They go to 12. So he actually, because he was a 9, it saved him from fumbling the ball. But we're going to test his rusher gain. The result is his rusher gain minus 3 yards. His gain is basically his average yards per carry. So it is, again, run and then pass. So it's 6 yards minus 3 yards. So he gets a 3-yard gain. 34, 35, 36. And it is 3rd and 4. So 3rd and 4. Let's roll again. 13 minus 2 on 3rd and 4 is 11. That's a short pass. The short pass is going to be to receiver 15. 15 in the finder is Cornelius Johnson. Short pass. A short pass is now at the bottom. Screen pass is at the top. And if you don't know or can't see it, it says screen pass right there. It says short pass right there. And on the back of the card, screen is at the top, short's at the bottom. So we're looking at a short pass. So we're looking at the right tackle 1 block and the left tackle 1 block as well on pass. Pass is the right side. Their left tackle is a 6. Their right tackle is a 6. That's a pretty good score. That's going to hold up at a 12. We're looking on the defense at the DB1 pass and the defensive attack. So we're combining a player score and a team score. The defensive attack is a 3. Defensive attack mainly means how much pressure are they applying for a potential sack. Georgia was not a huge sack team in this year. They were a fantastic defense, but not necessarily with total numbers of sacks. DB1 is right here, Malachi Starks. He is a 4. He's kind of the weak link of the secondary, at least this year. That's a 7. That's right here. So the Wolverines are, 5 ahead when we roll this, which is probably going to save them from a sack, but might be an incomplete pass. So 4, that's 11. 5, that is a 17. Wolverines offense wins, so we go to red. That is an incomplete pass. Now, if you're out there and you're saying, how can an incomplete pass be advantageous? Well, had the defense won, it was a sack for minus 1D 10 yards. So really, you are advantageous there, 4th and 4. So really, you're kind of seeing what happens. Now, same thing with the punt. Okay, you're going to look at advanced punts. Again, you're going to multiply it by 5. You're going to look at your punter right here. He's a plus 3. So we're going to add 15 to the regular punt. We're going to do a regular punt. We're going to add 15. It's a 97. We're all the way up here. So it is actually, you can't modify your way into the penalties at the top, right? So you can't get up there by going plus 15. So the highest that you'll be able to get is a 98. And all of the penalties right here and on down, you cannot modify your way into. So he hits his long yards. His long yards is a 64-yard punt. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It is at the goal line. Because it is at the goal line, the punt returner is then going to be able to basically say, I'm going to let it bounce or I'm going to return it. He's going to let it bounce. And what ends up happening, though, is in the addendums in the rule book, if you want to get really tic-tacky and really picky and have options, and more options, there is a chart in the addendums, an advanced chart to tell you which direction it bounces and how far, so you can take that risk. Right now, we're going to put them at the 25, say it bounced into the end zone. And I want to show you, before we take off a little bit, I I want to show you how to do a power play. So let's say we roll a medium pass and it says power play. Okay, Georgia is on defense. Georgia is on defense. I'm sorry. The Wolverines are on defense right now. So Georgia has the higher power score. So Georgia gets to decide, do they want to use this on offense? If they say no, the Wolverines then can say, do we want to use our one power play right here on defense? At this point in the game, they would also say no. But let's just say Georgia wants to try it out. Because it was a medium pass, you will go to power plays, pass offense. And you will roll on this chart right here. These are where you basically have the longs. It is a 45, which means Stetson Bennett completes it to coach's choice for a first down plus 2D 10 yards. I am going to throw it to the wide receiver 1, which is Ladd McConkey, who is now a Charger. And for 2D 10 yards. 5 and 7. That's 12. It was a first down in 2D 10 yards. So it's 10 yards and then 12 yards. 5, 10, 11, 12. So we're right there. That's how you run a power play. It's not hard, right? If Georgia would have been on defense, you just roll down here. Or the Wolverines. You just roll down here. It's power plays, rush offense, power plays, pass offense, power plays, and the defense. The defensive power plays are things like a sack, you cause the other team to fumble the ball, it's a pick six, it's a fumble return for a touchdown. If any of those things happen during the year for that team, they're on here. These are usually the rushing longs, these are usually the passing longs. Every team has a rare plays chart right here as well. Where if you get a rare play, let's see if we can scroll through and get a rare play card. Of course, I won't be able to find one since I want to find one. Of course. Why would I be able to find one when I want to find one? That would be way too easy, right? Those are power play. I found 3 or 4 power play cards. Well, this is working out. Isn't this how it goes every time you record a video of some kind? And okay, there's a rare play. If we were a medium pass, it could also call for a rare play. So whoever's on offense, you go to their rare plays chart. These are things that happen during the year as well. If something spectacular happened that we know of or that we can find in the research, it goes on here. But you can also think of this as a rare players chart because the finders are 1 through 20. That means that for a person to qualify for a rush finder or receiver finder, you have to have 5% of the rushes or the receptions. If you do not have 5%, you go back here and you will be on the rare play chart somewhere. That means that we are able to use almost every player who ran the ball one time, who caught one pass in most cases. Now, if a team had 25 guys who caught passes, we have to cut it off at some point because of space. But that is basically how you play. And I didn't want to make this long because at some point down the road, and I don't have the time to do it this evening, at some point down the road, we'll do a longer playthrough as well. But to be honest, what you saw here is how you play. It is not hard. It is not complex. And if you still have questions about this, please email me at matchupfootballgame@gmail.com. That's matchupfootballgame@gmail.com. And I can answer anything for you as well. Also, again, everything is in the rulebook. The rulebook, which you can get for free by emailing me, or and you can get the PDF by email, or you can go on our Facebook group as well for Matchup College Football. Or I think it's actually the Facebook group is for Matchup Football. And it is in the files. So we believe that the rule books should be free unless it actually has the teams in there and has all that kind of stuff. But why not let people read the rules and just see if it's something that interests them? I think that's always a really good idea. So that is basically how you play. Again, it's the red is the offense. The red is the offensive result. If the offense has its result, here's the tackler. The blue is the defense. It's what's being checked or tested. The blue is the defensive result if the blue wins. And because it's an incomplete pass, there is no tackler down here. In essence, that's how you play. Next time I see you, we'll probably be doing an update on matchup basketball. And I have some things that I want to show you with that. How far out are we for the release? We are approximately, I'm going to say 2 months away from the release. And the next matchup college football set, which is 2022 Volume 3, is probably a week out. Those are my estimates. I'm SD Patrick. It's been nice having you here. I'm sorry it's a little jumbled up. Again, because of where the camera is and having to have the teams here to show you, this is not the way I would usually organize the game at all. So I have pawns going all over the place. Not the way I like to play. I'm super organized with this. And if you're asking how long the game takes, oh my gosh, that question. Can anyone really answer that accurately? It takes me a few hours. Why does it take me a few hours? Because I'm slow. Not because I don't know the game, obviously, but I'm a gamer who really likes to stop and check the stats and see how many passing yards each quarterback has. And I want to see like what's going on, and I'll actually write out a box score as I go, and I'll write down the scores and the yardage and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not someone that's trying to hurry through games in any way, shape, or form. And also, I keep all stats. I keep pass deflections. I keep quarterback hits. I keep sacks. I keep tackles. I keep everything that is in the game, and we pretty much try to include every possible stat that's out there in a media guide in the game for you to keep if you want to. Now, you don't have to even do stats at all, but that's how I do it because I'm a stat junkie, and so I play slower than most. And as I said before, I have cats. So they're all over the place all the time, and that takes me longer as well. So, hey, it was really cool being here with you today, and I look forward to showing you some basketball next time we record. If this seemed really jumbled, I apologize, and I hope next time it won't be. We're going into the holidays. We're going into the awesome Black Friday part of our year in the hobby. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Calm down. Be nice. Let's all be nice to each other. Let's all have a good holiday season, and let's all have some fun. Thank you very much.